thought about the consequences of underage drinking? Anyone? Yeah? Well, I want you to meet 17-year-old Alexis Abramowitz. She knows the consequences firsthand. While all of her friends and some of you are attending prom, she's going to be at home recovering from a fatal car accident that almost took her life. The driver of the car that hit her was actually her 16-year-old classmate that goes to the same school as her. The Center for Disease Control says that roughly 74.3% of high school students have tried alcohol at some point in their life. A lot of them even starting as young as the age of 12. Nearly half of all car wrecks involving teenagers involve alcohol as well. So look around the room. Is that going to be you, or is that going to be the person sitting next to you? I personally have seen the consequences of underage drinking firsthand. When I was a senior in high school, about 18 years of age, a good friend of mine actually was killed in a drunk driving accident, and the driver of the car was her twin sister. So after seeing her family go through such tremendous pain, my friends and I really wanted to do something in the community and get involved and try to prevent things like that from happening to our friends and family. Teenage drinking is an escalating problem in the United States, and it affects millions of lives each year, and it's the leading cause of injuries among teenagers and youth. Aside from these fatal consequences, other things include traumatic injuries, suicide, date rape, family and school problems. Roughly 11,000 students each day on average, children, youth, each day, on average 11,000 try alcohol for the first time. It's a big number each day. Kayleen, how many seniors do you have in your class?
600.
600? Well, take that number, multiply it by 3. That's how many kids will die this year due to alcohol-related accidents. About 1,700 is what they say. According to the CDC, also 31% of college students have claimed to miss a class because they were too hungover or partied too hard the night before, so some kind of alcohol-related reason that they didn't attend class. 22% have bombed a test or tanked an exam because, again, they were too hungover to go to class or chose partying and drinking over studying. Also, Kayleen, you're going to be a freshman next year, right?
Yes. In
college? Mm-hmm. Well, 159,000 college freshmen will drop out of school next year due to alcohol. Yeah, big numbers. So not only does it affect you as a teenager, but if you start drinking at an early age, it's going to affect you into adulthood as well. They say about 47% of those who started drinking underage have an alcohol dependency at some point in their life, versus the 9% who started at the legal age of 21. So that's a big difference for those that are underage versus those that were of age when they started drinking. As an adult, alcoholism can lead to unemployment, it can lead to violent crimes, it can lead to violent behavior. But now that you know all of these things, what can we do as a society and as peers to prevent this from happening in the future or from affecting someone that we love, one of our close family or friends? The first step is for you to be a leader. Be a leader in your community. Start a chapter, a local organization, something that brings awareness to underage drinking and the effects of it. Teenagers are more likely to listen to other teenagers than they are to an adult or to a parent. So you guys have the biggest impact on their behavior and their opinions and their beliefs. Also, there's lots of organizations in the United States that help with this type of situation. There's Students Against Destructive Behaviors. It started 30 years ago. It actually started as Students Against Drunk Driving, and a lot of you have probably heard of MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Well, students decided to pull together and create their own organization to help with underage drinking and to prevent teens from drinking. I personally have experience with an organization called Parents Saving Our Children Against Drunk Driving. And what that is, it's a program that comes into schools and they stage an actual drunk driving accident, a fatality. And I have personal experience, like I told you earlier, my friend who died in a drunk driving accident in high school. After that happened, we called this organization and we said, this really impacted us and we really want to do something to help out. So what can we do? They came to our school, they staged the fatality, and that morning we had bus drivers, we had school officials crying. Nobody knew. Only a few people know about it. Only the people involved in creating this and some school officials know. And it touched so many lives. We actually had students with drinking problems go seek out help through our counselors at school. So we feel that just by doing that, we helped out in some way. We saved some lives that day. So there's a lot of things that you guys can do as well. Imagine touching one of those 1,700 lives, those 1,700 people that will die this year. Imagine being a part of their life or changing that for them or making them think, you know what, maybe this isn't a great idea. Not only can these type of fatalities happen, a lot of people don't think that it can happen to them, but there's actually a Cornell University student who had some drinks one night. He was partying, having a great time, fell into a gorge, killed himself from being too drunk. He was celebrating his entrance into medical school that night. Yeah. On top of that, imagine spending the next 10 years of your life in prison, starting at 19, 20 years old. Imagine being 30 when you get out of prison. That happened to this guy, Samuel Wilson. He went to a friend's house, says he had a few drinks, but didn't think about the consequences of getting in his car that night. He hit a 61-year-old lady in the car and killed her, and he's going to spend 10 years of his life in prison. There goes his childhood, his adolescence gone in the blink of an eye for a bad decision, right? Something that we can do to prevent. This could be your friends. This could be your children. This could be you, So no one thinks that alcohol can affect them. Nobody thinks about it, and neither did any of these people. Alcohol doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your GPA, what you're going to school for, your ethnicity. It doesn't matter. It can happen to you, okay? So the effects are dramatic. It affects teens just like you guys, and you guys can take action to help prevent this. Starting a local chapter of Students Against Drunk Driving or protecting our students against drunk driving costs nothing, but it can save millions of lives. So take action. You're educated now. Educate your peers and save a life. Thank you.